this girl is reluctantly going to bed with a strange man. She is so pretty that make him so enamored that he couldn't control himself. While he is enjoying, suddenly a stranger uses a rope to choke him to death. Since then, she has to face the heinous plots of her own uncle. How she adapts and overcomes the pitfalls of her life. Let's see the movie. Dominika is a famous ballerina. Her only desire is to give her best on the ballet stage. However, in one performance, her male colleague performed the wrong technique and broke her leg. That accident ends her glorious days. On her deathbed, Dominika was devastated and couldn't accept the fact that she has to give up her career for good. 3 months later, her biological uncle Vanya comes to visit. He is the deputy head of the Central Intelligence Service of Russia. Vanya convinces Dominika to work for him to earn money to cover her life. He reveals that Dominika was harmed, not an accident. A girl named Sonia along with her male colleague ruined Dominika's career in order to take her place in the ballet. Deeply resentful, she goes to the theater alone and finds 2 people having fun in the bathroom. She coldly beats the 2 people with a stick until they lost consciousness. Returning home, she finds her mother sprawled on the yard. Her mother's illness is getting worse and worse. No money to treat her mother's illness, she goes to see her uncle. Vanya promises to help Dominika some money if she agrees to do him one thing. It is approaching a person named Dmitry, gaining his trust and finding way to swap his phone to exploit the secrets inside. Although she knows it is a bad thing to do, but she wants money so that her mother could be treated at a private hospital, Dominika agrees. Dominika enters the hotel room with Dmitry. Her body exudes a seductive and sexy beauty. Dmitry is like a hungry tiger that just wants to bite Dominika. He starts raping her mercilessly. While he is enjoying the pleasure, suddenly a man appears from behind and strangles him to death. Then he takes her to an interrogation room of the Central Intelligence Service of Russia. She is bewildered and terrified. Outside, Uncle Vanya tells his superior that she would be of use to them. After a while, Vanya enters. It turns out that it is all due to a conspiracy that her uncle had arranged before. Vanya says she has 2 options. Or attending the special training, or dying because she witnessed the murder. Dominika is taken to National Lap School No. 4, where intelligence agents known as the Red Sparrow are trained. She is taken to her room by a teacher named Matron. Matron wonders why a famous ballet dancer, whose uncle was the head of the intelligence agency, has to come here. She warns that if Dominika doesn't fulfill her duty to her country, she will be the one to give Dominika a bullet in the head. Here Dominika receives shooting, physical training, learning how to open all kinds of locks and other skills necessary for a spy. Matron tells the practitioners that they officially become the Red Sparrow team. They are chosen because they have beauty and their body belongs to the country. They have to sacrifice their bodies, push themselves beyond their limits, throw away their sentimental morality, use it as a weapon to seduce the enemy to extract information. Practitioners are even paired with each other to practice using their weapons. One day Dominika is taking a shower when another practitioner breaks in and rapes her. Unyielding, she snatches the shower lock and uses it to brutally attack him. Meanwhile, Dominika's uncle is meeting with senior members of the intelligence agency. Among them is General Korchnoi, who wears a blue military uniform. They are discussing about Nate, an American CIA agent sent to Budapest to contact a Russian spy codenamed Mabo. The intelligence agency needs to verify the true identity of the traitor trying to contact the US CIA. Soon General Korchnoi comes to see Dominika. He wonders what kind of person could heartlessly send his niece to Red Sparrow training school. After learning about Dominika attacking another cadet, General Korchnoi lets Dominika leave. He then meets Matron privately to learn more about her. The next day Dominika goes to see her uncle. Vanya gives her a photo of an American CIA agent named Nate. He asks Dominika to go to Budapest to reach Nate and by all means find the traitor codenamed Mabo. Vanya then gives Dominika a new identity as Katerina. Dominika expresses resentment towards Vanya for sending her to Red Sparrow training school. But Vanya convinces her that he just wants to help her and because she can. Dominika has no choice but to take her bag and leave. She moves into an apartment in Budapest with another agent named Marta. Dominika goes to the swimming pool where Nate often practices. A few days later, she takes the initiative to get acquainted with Nate. But Nate quickly realizes that she is a Russian spy. Nate reports to his superiors and asks to recruit Dominika as a double agent. His boss warns to stay away from Russian Red Sparrows. But Nate manages to convince them to get Dominika. The next day, Dominika attends a press conference of the U.S. Embassy as Katerina, an interpreter. While she is looking around for Nate, she happens to see Marta talking to the U.S. Senator's chief of staff named Busha. Suddenly Nate appears and calls her real name, but Dominika is quite calm. The two seem to know each other's true intention. That day Dominika leaves early and breaks into Marta's room. She starts searching Marta's belongings. Dominika discovers that Marta has been tasked with buying top-secret intelligence from Busha for $250,000. The transaction will take place in London, England. The next night Dominika goes to Nate's apartment. He tells her about what he had done in Russia. Dominika tries to seduce Nate but he refuses. She leaves Nate's apartment after that. When she gets to the apartment, she meets her uncle. Vanya asks her about Nate's situation. Dominika replies that things are going well because Nate has begun to trust her. Vanya asks her to quickly find the spy and leave. One day Dominika returns to her apartment and finds Marta was brutally murdered for revealing her identity. Dominika is threatened by a secret agent that if she doesn't complete her mission, she will suffer the same consequences as Marta. She is so scared, goes to Nate and tells him her whole story. She also confides about her goddamn uncle who pushed her to the edge. Nate offers Dominika a job for the CIA and promises that he won't treat her the way her uncle did. That day Dominika spends all night with Nate. In the end, he is subdued by the Red Sparrow's powerful weapon. The next day, Nate takes her to the US CIA safe house in Budapest. They test Dominika with a lie detector and she passes it. She officially becomes a double agent. Dominika's first mission is to go to London, England to meet Busha. She will make a purchase of information about the defense satellite system that Busha has agreed to with Marta. Dominika takes Busha to a hotel room where her boss, Colonel Maxim, is waiting. Busha is elated at the large sum of money received. Dominika uses the pretext of checking the information on the disk to swap them out and give the fake disk to the Russians. Her mission accomplishes. However, after leaving the hotel, Busha is tracked and killed by the U.S. Secret Service. Dominika becomes the #1 suspect for revealing Busha's identity. She is recalled by the Russians to her home country and brought to the headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency. They begin questioning Dominika if she had leaked information about Busha to the Americans. Dominika firmly denies. They start torturing her with water drops that make her nervous and panicky, then brutally beat her. They even threatens her with a video of her boss being shot. But that still doesn't faze Dominika. The interrogator points a gun to her head and asks her one last time, but she still insists she is innocent. She pulls the trigger but the gun is empty. At this moment, her uncle enters. He says that Dominika made a mistake and that he can only help Dominika if she tells the truth. She insists she remains loyal. Moreover, Vanya's torture of her will make the Americans trust her even more. Dominika begs Vanya to let her go back to Budapest so she can finish her mission. Vanya agrees to let her return to Budapest. But General Korchnoi thinks that she has tricked Vanya, and that she has a crush on Nate. However, Vanya promises that if he finds out that Dominika is playing tricks, he will eliminate her immediately. When meeting Dominika again in Budapest, Nate is deeply moved. Their love for each other seems to be genuine. After so many days apart, they enjoy the happiness of being together again. However, in the middle of the night, Dominika wakes up and finds that Nate is no longer with her. She walks into the kitchen and finds Nate has been tied to a chair. A Russian agent is torturing him. Dominika cooperates with Russian secret to exploit Nate. She also offers to help torture Nate by peeling his skin. Nate screams in pain but Dominika still wouldn't stop. It turns out that she does it to deceive the Russian Secret Service. When he is caught off guard, Dominika attacks him and frees Nate. He gets up and attacks the two, seriously injuring them. But in the end Dominika manages to defeat him. Dominika has accepted to risk her life to save Nate's life. Now she has nowhere to go. Suddenly, General Korchnoi comes to see her. When all hope seems to have ended for her, Korchnoi suddenly reveals the shocking truth that he is the spy codenamed Mabo. He asks Dominika to hand him over to the intelligence agency. That will help her regain the complete trust of the Russians. She could then replace Vanya with Russian intelligence to the United States. That evening, a group of Russians and Americans meet at the airport to exchange intelligence. The Russian must hand over the man codenamed Mabo to the US. On the contrary, the US must return Dominika to Russia. Nate asks Dominika how she managed to find Mabo so easily. He is disappointed in her decision to possibly kill Mabo, the one who provided information to Nate all this time. She says that one day he would understand what she did, but Nate reiterates that he wouldn't. Because he's not in the habit of throwing people away, Mabo steps off the helicopter with a bag over his head. Dominika begins to move towards the Russians. The bag is taken out, surprising everyone. Mabo is not Kirchnoi, but Dominika's uncle. It turns out that Dominika has collected evidence to expose her uncle. She identified Vanya's fingerprints on the mug in Nate's apartment. She found a bank account named Vanya to which the CIA transferred money. At this moment, Vanya's face shows an austerity. When he passes Dominika, he says, "You have already killed me." Her answer to her wretched uncle is, "I did a good job." As Vanya approaches the Americans, Russian snipers knocks Vanya down. Dominika is quickly loaded onto the helicopter and leaves in Nate's stays. She later receives a Medal of Honor from Russia in the praise of the generals. The video ends here. Goodbye and see you later.